Here's how to use InstaQuote inside QuoteIQ to let your customers get instant quotes for your business. We'll cover how to set it up, how it works, and how to customize every part of it to fit your business. On the left-hand side of your screen, press Settings. Then scroll down to the Self-Service section and click InstaQuote Setup. Here, you'll see a list of all your services that you've created in your account. These are the services you can activate for your InstaQuote. Just check the boxes on the services that you want customers to quote for themselves. You can choose one or you can choose many. Once you've selected, hit Save Services. Now that the services are active, you'll see a Configure button that appears next to each one. That's where all the customization happens. Let's configure on a service so we can walk through how the pricing matrix works. Every InstaQuote service can have a few different types of logic. At the top, you'll see an option to let the customer input square footage. They'll be able to type in the dimensions of the area they want cleaned. If you leave this off, you can charge a flat rate or use other pricing logics. Next is minimum price. This is the lowest price you're willing to charge for that service, regardless of other selections. This is great for setting a floor so you don't end up quoting a small $30 job that isn't worth the time. Under that, you'll build out the pricing matrix. Click Add Category and you'll see three options: Dropdown, Yes or No, and Dimensions. Let's break down each one. Dropdown lets you create a list of options the customer selects from. Each option can apply a fixed price or a percentage of the quote. You can also choose if it's an upcharge or a discount. This is perfect for things like house wash, surface type, roof complexity, anything where the price depends on the customer choice. For example, we're going to build 3 tiers based on the size of the customer's house, since larger homes take longer to wash and require more water and chemicals. We'll create a category called House Size and enter the following options. You can get as specific as you need to and add as many options as needed. All of these use fixed price and are marked as an upcharge. This lets you create a simple, logical price structure that customers can understand and select in seconds. I'm going to add another drop-down category and title it Number of Stories and follow a similar structure as last time. Each story is an additional upcharge amount. Next, let's look at yes/no categories. Yes/no is great for toggles. The customer sees a question, answers yes or no, and you apply a price based on their answer. For example, if someone has a screened-in porch or a detached garage, that adds time onto the job, so we can add those questions in this format. If the customer answers yes, $50 will be added onto their total price, and if they answer no, then the price remains the same. You can also apply discounts this way if something makes the job easier. Next up is dimensions. Dimensions let the customer enter in the square footage of the area they want serviced by plugging in the length, width, and quantity. This is useful when the area doesn't fall into a simple drop-down category or when you want a price based on total size. For example, if they had a driveway that's 20 feet wide and 20 feet long, they'll enter in those two numbers and leave the quantity as 1. And if they have 2 areas, let's say a driveway and a patio, they can press Add New Area and name the section Patio and plug in the dimensions like 10 feet by 15 feet. This gives your customer control over the quote while keeping your pricing accurate. If you've set your pricing to calculate based on square footage, QuoteIQ will automatically multiply the dimensions and apply your rate, saving you time and getting the customer a fast, accurate estimate. It's a powerful option if you offer services like concrete cleaning, deck washing, or anything measured in square feet. Once you finish setting up the services for your InstaQuote, press the live preview button at the top to open up the actual quote form that your customers will see when they click your InstaQuote link. First, the customer will choose what services they want. I'm going to choose house wash and concrete wash since these are the two we set up. First, for house wash, I'll type in the square footage, and in this case, I'll choose 2,500 square feet, and I'll choose it in the drop-down 1,500 or 3,000 square feet, which will trigger the price range I set earlier. Then I select 2 stories since I have a 2-story home, which automatically applies the upcharge I built into the pricing matrix. For the yes/no category, I'll answer no since I don't have a screened-in porch at my house. That skips the additional upcharge I set for that option. I hit Next Service, and I'll start entering out the concrete wash details. First, I'm going to type in driveway, and then the length and width of my driveway. I also want to get my patio washed, so I'll add in a new area and enter in the dimensions for that as well. Once you're ready, press Continue, and here will take you to the contact information screen. Your customer will fill out all of their contact information, and then hit Next. Here, they can type out any additional information they need to. Once they're ready, press Get Quote, and their quote will be instantly generated. Here it shows the price of each service they selected, where they can choose which one they want to move forward with. I'm going to select both house wash and concrete wash, and then hit Accept. Here, your customer will sign the estimate digitally, and once signed, they'll get a confirmation that their estimate was accepted, and you as a business owner will get back to them shortly to schedule. Once a customer accepts their estimate, in your QuoteIQ dashboard, you can go to the Estimates tab and see the accepted estimate under Accepted. Here, you can schedule, invoice, decline, or mark it as paid. And that's how to set up and use InstaQuote and QuoteIQ. For more information about InstaQuote or QuoteIQ, go to myquoteiq.com. And if you're interested in learning how to integrate InstaSchedule into your InstaQuote to let customers also schedule while they're creating an InstaQuote, click the video here.